A clinical trial is the way of answering the question, is a new treatment better than the old treatments which already exist? And this is important to allow us to introduce new treatments. What happens is that you have two groups of patients. One group of patients is given the normal treatments that they would get for lupus ordinarily, and the other group of patients gets all those ordinary treatments plus a new treatment that you're testing. The two groups are balanced, so they're similar in all other ways, similar age, similar sex, similar ethnicity. The only difference is that one group is getting the new treatment, the other group isn't. The two groups of patients are followed over a period of time. They're assessed very regularly by clinicians to see which group, if any, is doing better. They measure how active are the diseases in both groups, and then they compare the results in the two groups. The larger the number of patients in each group, the more likely statistically it is you'll be able to see a difference between the two groups. So in summary, a clinical trial answers that really important question, is a new drug better than the drug we have already, and is it safe? It requires the recruitment of patients with lupus, usually the more the better, and they're divided into two groups, of which one gets a new treatment, one doesn't, and we look to see what the outcomes are in both groups.
If we're talking about a clinical trial of a new medication, you will be invited by your doctor to take part. They will have a conversation with you about whether it's something that you want to do and whether it's safe for you to do so. There's quite a long process of determining if you're eligible for the study in the first place, as the clinical trial protocols are very detailed and they are looking for patients with quite specific disease activity. So there will be some back and forth with your doctor, and you'll be encouraged to talk to your family and friends and loved ones about whether you would like to take part. You'll be giving a patient information leaflet to have a read, which will tell you what is involved in taking part of the study and any expected risks of taking part. The eligibility process is quite long before you even start on the trial. But once you have agreed to take part and it looks like you might be eligible, you'll be asked to sign an informed consent form. And then once that's done, we will do several assessments like blood tests, maybe a urine test, maybe a ECG, like a scan of your heart, and lots of different elements to make sure it is safe and appropriate for you to take part. Should we get to that point, it would be, say if it is a study looking at a new medication, it might be a comparison with a placebo. So day one of the study, you will be given either the medication or the placebo, and we'll do all of those tests again as a kind of baseline. And then, broadly speaking, each trial is a little bit different, but you might be seen on a monthly basis, and those tests are repeated to see if there's any change, to assess whether there is any worries about safety and whether the medication is effective for your condition.
It is completely your decision, and if you decide to say no, it will not affect your treatment whatsoever. You'll be treated just like any other patient.
Clinical trials are important because they are how we tell if a new medication or any type of treatment is effective and safe for patients, which is why it's really important that we have a diverse group of people taking part in the trials.
So there are two main reasons why I wanted to take part in the trial. So firstly, it gave me access to a treatment that I wouldn't have otherwise had access to. And secondly, I just wanted to be part of something bigger and that might help other people as well.
It was an opportunity to promote lupus awareness, give something back to the team that I'd been working with in the past, and really to find out more about the condition and how it could help me specifically. I felt fully supported during the trial. They contacted you via email, via text, via phone. They would, at each appointment, the medical team would speak with you, find out how you were feeling since the last appointment, whether any significant changes had taken place. So they were regularly in contact with you.
Before I started the trial, I was concerned about any potential risks the treatment might have, and also how it would fit in the extra appointments around work and life and other appointments that I have. But speaking to the research team gave me all the information I need to weigh everything up and make the decision that was right for me.
So initially starting the trial, I was concerned that it would be too onerous. There'd be too much time taken from my day. But that wasn't the case, not at all. In fact, it was the opposite. Everything was clearly planned out. So we had a schedule for about a year, and there were appointments made. At those appointments, there was the opportunity to speak with the clinician, to discuss other things that have been happening, and they regularly checked on me to find out whether or not there were if I had any concerns with regards to it.
One myth is that you'll be treated like a guinea pig, like a research subject. So this isn't true. There are many rules and regulations to keep people safe in clinical trials. Anything which is used in a clinical trial will already have been through several sets of pieces of research to show firstly that it's safe in animals, then to show that it's safe in people before it ever gets to the status of a clinical trial in lupus. If the trial isn't going well, they can actually stop it.
I would say definitely consider it. Think through what the impact might be on you in terms of the impact on work and social life and other appointments that you have. Talk to the research team. There's usually a doctor or a clinical research nurse who's willing to have a chat with you, answer all your questions, make sure you have as much information as you want to weigh up that decision.
Most definitely, without hesitation. I think for a few reasons. One, because clinical trials is all about research, and that's the only way that things can actually improve. And I want to help the lupus condition, and if I can help them in doing the trials, then I would do so. Two, I think it means that you get one-to-one time with the clinical staff that know the condition very, very well. So you can always discuss with them any concerns that you have. Three, it wasn't difficult, it wasn't onerous, it was quite easy and flexible. So yes, I would definitely do it.
If you want to take part in a clinical trial, you should first speak to your doctor. The inclusion criteria for clinical trials are very specific, so they're not suitable for everybody all the time. There are some search engines online where you can see if there are clinical trials running, but again, speak to your doctor if you find one that you think you are interested in, and then they will be able to refer you that way.